Things have dramatically changed in Waterloo Region, and you're probably wondering what's going on. Why is every day in the paper, why am I reading about homelessness increasing, encampments? What is happening here, and what are we doing about it? And so the reality is this, folks, is that here in Waterloo Region, across this great country, and I would say North America, we are deeply embedded in the synthetic drug era. And we have been there for a while. I would say a minimum of 7 to 8 years we've already been in it, but it's just growing and growing and growing. So I don't know if the synthetic drug era is a new concept to you. Maybe you've already read about it. What I would encourage all of you, because I don't have enough time tonight to get into it by depth, but there's a journalist, Sam Quinones, who's been following this for decades. And he has some great insights. I would encourage you. This is a book it's released in paperback next week that gives real insight. So I won't do it justice as Sam does in his book or on his podcasts. And by the way, we're going to send you these links and resources on next week, so you will have a chance to get this and follow up. But if you read his stuff, you listen to his podcast, you will slowly start to understand what's happening in our broader community. So what am I talking about when I say synthetic drugs? In the old days, drugs usually were plant-based, right? And so you needed some farmland, you needed the plants to make it. It was pretty intensive, it was expensive. And then all of a sudden, traffickers, cartels got very smart, with some help of very smart scientists, realized, hey, we could actually make this way simpler and make way more potent drugs with just widely made available chemicals. And think about this from an economics model. You no longer have to be reliant on a piece of land, certain plants. You can do this stuff wherever you want. You can create as much quantity as you want. And all of a sudden, it changes everything. Now, think about it from the economics of a drug dealer now. I'm dealing cocaine. You might come to me here and there. You might be the occasional customer. Now, all of a sudden, with a synthetic drug, once I get you as a customer, once I have you for every day, and I have you for life. So the economics are there for this to flourish. And so drug cartels are very well-run businesses, and we've had the opioid crisis for decades. So we've had this group of millions of people in North America who are addicted to painkillers, to drugs already. So there's already a great field, a market, so to speak, in business terms. And so it was a jackpot both for the dealers and for the traffickers. And so they mass-produced synthetic drugs and sprayed it all across in every corner of this great continent. And that is the outcome of what we're dealing with right now, is that we now have drugs that are way more affordable, they're accessible, but they're so potent and so addictive, they are devastating people's lives. And I know we have people here in this room tonight who've lost loved ones because of the toxicity of these synthetic drugs. And they're having a major, major impact. And so if you read stuff by Sam Quinones, you start getting insights into realizing, why is homelessness increasing in some areas? Why are there parts in North America that actually had no homelessness just a few years ago, and now they're really struggling with it? The synthetic drug era is real. And so now, I know what you're thinking. You're looking at the program, and you're saying, they called this the journey of hope? This is the night of despair, and what John's telling us. And so it is about the journey of hope. But hope is an action word. And you've got to look at the stark reality of what's in front of you. And hope is about looking the ugly truth in the face and saying, we're not quite sure how we get out of this, but we got to look into it. And then we don't run away, and we come together as a community. And the only way together, the only way through this is together, folks. We don't know how to respond to a synthetic drug area. No community does. No level of government does. This is us as a community we have to come together and figure this out. And that is what we're doing here in Waterloo Region. None of us know what we're doing. We've never seen this before, folks. And I know some people think that, some level of government is supposed to have the magic answer or the silver bullet, and it's not how it works. It's not what's happening. But you ask me what gives me hope and why I'm so hopeful in a time of despair where we have the synthetic drugs everywhere, and I'm seeing on a daily basis the devastating effects that it's having on people's lives and the impact that it's having on our team members who are supporting these individuals. And so what gives me hope is this community, is how this community has responded. And so I just want to share with you quickly tonight. I'm going to go really quickly because one of the answers is more appropriate housing for vulnerable populations. And I know you're all aware of it, you've read about it. But I want to share with you what inspires me is the community partners, many of whom are with us here tonight. And I want to share with you what they've been doing over the last couple of years here in our community during a global pandemic. I'm going to go really quick, so put your seatbelt on. Let's start. Our friends at One Roof, just this past year, opened supportive housing, 44 units at Sheldon Avenue in Kitchener for youth ages 16-25, where they're going to get lots of support so they can move to independent living and successfully maintain housing. Our friends at Thresholds Home and Support this past year opened a 10-bedroom, 24/7 staffed home for individuals with high needs, and coming this year, a 25-unit affordable apartment building that they're also building. The YW, as some of you probably read, just opened the Block Line, 41 units for single women who are chronically homeless, and I think soon Block Line 2 is opening 10 units. Right, Jen? Where are you? Right on. That project was so impressive, our Prime Minister had to come and visit it. All right, our friends at A Better Tent City, for some here tonight, I think you've all read, and I'm so grateful that they were the ones that received the Barn Raiser Award for this incredible innovation of trying to house 50 individuals, and they continue to do that work for 50 individuals. So thank you to A Better Tent City. Next, we have Mena Homes, soon to be called Beyond Housing. You're welcome, Dan Driediger, for that branding announcement. What's that? Oh yeah, I said your organization name, but I said misspelled. I know, I didn't say your last name right. Dan. Anyways, 40 units. They're at Lancaster in partnership with Parents for Community Living and St. Paul's Lutheran Church, 1 and 2 bedrooms. That went up this past year. Our friends at Indwell are currently building, the former St. Mark's Lutheran Church is being converted to 43 units. They've got a vision for St. Peter's Church for 41 units, and just announced yesterday purchase of the Grand River Hotel that will hopefully be converted to 40 units in the next few years. Parkwood Seniors is just broke ground for the Delphine and Lloyd Martin apartments with 90 units. 30% of those units will be affordable units. Our friends at KW Urban Native Wigwam are building in Cambridge, 23 single, 7 2 bedrooms for Indigenous singles, couples, students, and elders. Satellite Community Homes in 2023 will be opening 55 units below market rent. Our friends at the Working Center have shared the vision recently that they're adding 44 units of interim housing on their Victoria Street location where they're redesigning St. John's Kitchen. I want to just pause here for a second. Where's Joe and Steph Mancini and some of the folks at the Working Center? Joe and Steph, listen, this is the only project I'm highlighting here, but during the pandemic, the Working Center also turned University Avenue into 80 beds for interim housing. They added, recently, as you've read, the Schwaben Club is now a shelter for 70, soon to be 100 individuals. This is on top of feeding hundreds of people every day, doing outreach and encampments everywhere. Can we please honor the great work of them? This is hope. So, New Hamburg, there's a grassroots group of individuals coming together. I think you've called yourself Love Your Neighbor Communities. Did I get that right? Looking at a site, hoping to build 30 units. The issues of the challenge is this isn't rural and urban, right? This is everywhere throughout Waterloo Region, every part. And so this group is doing it. Waterloo Region Housing has got a lot of projects on the go. I just asked them to just give me 2, so I'm just highlighting 71 units there in Waterloo for 1 to 5 bedrooms for single seniors, families, and a 16 unit in Kitchener at 82 Wilson Ave. Let me ask you this. Unless your name is Karen, Tom, or Jim, how many of you knew that all of these projects were happening in our community? I think I counted 4 hands out of 550. And the folks that come to a friendship dinner are like the best, the brightest, you know, you're connected, you're up on things, and only 5 of you knew that all this was happening because we get everything from here on Twitter, the news, and every day it's the same news. It's like the problem, nothing's happening. But this is what your community, our community did during a pandemic. So yes, we are in the synthetic drug era. We've got lots of challenges. But if there's one place I want to be living in North America, it's Waterloo Region, because we come together and we try things and we don't get it right, but we keep trying and we keep working together. And that's what we need to keep doing. And that's why I'm so grateful for the incredible community partners who've done this incredible work. So tonight, I want to honor every one of those organizations, because you know how hard it is to build those things, to build buildings and to provide hope and healing for individuals that need it in our community. I want to honor those of you who volunteer to help out with one of those projects, to donate to one of those projects, to sit on one of those boards. Can we honor those of you in this room tonight who have been a part of being part of some of the answer and being part of the hope? Can we just please honor those individuals? I promised you at the beginning that we wanted to share an audacious vision that House of Friendship has been working on for the last year and a half. And many of us in this room had the benefit of good parents. What did our parents teach us? Be careful who you hang out with, because you end up being like them. Well, I just shared with you the kind of company we hold and the kind of organizations that we're honored to partner with. And we've been inspired by what they've done. We also said, hey, there's a huge need in the community for housing, particularly for people who are experiencing chronic homelessness. And so we wanted to do our part. So I'm going to take you to downtown Kitchener, Charles and Eby. As you know, we have got quite a bit of property there on that block of Charles and Eby Village. And we said, we've got this huge need in the community. We have all of our community partners doing such great work. What can we do? So we called our dear friend, Stephen Swatridge. I know many of you know him here in the room. And we said, Stephen, we need a vision that addresses the community need. Can you help us out? And so Stephen immediately called his longtime friend, Roger Farwell. And Roger and Stephen, last January, February, started dreaming ideas and visioning for what can be done in this space. And so they started kind of talking to the people that would live in this building. They talked to community leaders, folks in the expertise in the building field, and slowly this vision started to emerge of that we could build maybe like a 9-story building here of supportive housing. But what became also very clear is, as you could see on that chunk of land, the tall apartment building in the back, that's Eby Village, Charles Village on the corner. We already have 86 individuals living in supportive and affordable housing on that little corner of Kitchener. And so we said, hey, how can we build something that will benefit everyone living there? And so out of that sort of came this concept of a supportive housing community hub. And it was slowly emerging. And as many of you know, last August, we lost an exceptional community leader, a true barn raiser, when we lost Roger Farwell. And so, but the vision was there, and the incredible team at Walter Fady that Roger had continued developing it and running with the design. And so I'm really excited to share with you tonight some preliminary designs of the vision that we have here for, for the downtown campus. We have 6 floors of housing. The top 6 floors are going to be supportive housing for people experiencing homelessness. And then what you see there on the bottom 3 floors is sort of the community hub. We wanted individuals living in that building at EB and Charles to have there's going to be a gym there, a walking track, a cafe, a full medical clinic. Will be there for the whole community so that they don't just have a place to live, but they can thrive there and they can build community and have healing and hope. It will also be our head office for House of Friendship, for our admin staff in there. And so we wanted to share that vision with you. The other piece that was really important to Roger was that he said, if we're going to have like over 150 people living on this small area together, let's have a beautiful green space for them and a beautiful courtyard. And so there you see this courtyard that will be connecting all 3 buildings. So that is a little bit of the audacious vision that we wanted to share with you. We're not ready to go public with this. We're still finishing up some design stuff. But we wanted to share it with our closest friends that come to the Friendship Dinner for you to be aware of something that we've been working on. There's also a number of you in the room tonight who've already very generously supported this project and have gotten behind the vision. And when we do go public, we will share the kind of support we've received. But I do want to share one gift in particular. Before this vision was ever on paper, before it got any real design anything, our friends at Brock Solutions, knowing the need in the community, gave us a $5 million gift to say we want to make sure this vision happens and that we have the resources to do it. So I know our Brock Solutions group is here somewhere. Thank you so much for the support here that you've given.